the names listed out so that they're able to have that record. Then from chapter 47, it was in this chapter that it was recorded that Jacob's family settles in Goshen, because that was the land that Joseph took the permission from Pharaoh for them to settle there. And Goshen is a fertile land, and this family were able to be farming there and having all this both livestock, whatever they needed. It's just a family, a very fertile land for them. They really enjoyed that land that was allocated to them, because it was the permission of Pharaoh that land was given unto them. Because Joseph, don't forget, Joseph was the prime minister then, and like I said, the second in command, and whatever he put before Pharaoh, Pharaoh always approved it. From verses 20 through to 31 of that very chapter 47, the famine was so severe in Egypt, of which Joseph bought some land for Pharaoh, so that they were able to cultivate it and have enough foodstuff in stock, so that in the time of need there will not be scarcity. They will be able to get more to feed themselves and other people as well. And based on that, the children of Israel were also joined over there. That is the Jacob family. They were, in fact, there was a time they don't need anything. They are not short of anything at all. So it was because of Joseph, who was their brother, that made this possible for them. That is why they were there, because every one of us will have one way or the other that we can have impact in someone's life. So, going to chapter 48, as I've said earlier, I'm going to be very brief in this review. This is the area that death was about to befall on Jacob. Because in those days, some elderly people, very, very elderly people, they used to know when death is approaching. It is then they be gathering their children, telling them all sorts of things, what they should do and what they should not do. Even they will even tell their children how they will be buried if they pass on. So in this chapter 48, verses 1 through to 22, Jacob narrated all the happenings to Joseph concerning his late mother. You know, Joseph was not with the father when Rachel passed on, because Joseph has been already sold by his siblings before at that time. So Joseph was not able, having that opportunity to stay with the father to know when the mother passed on. So he gave the whole account how his mother passed on. And Joseph, because Joseph visited his father when he was on sick bed, as I said earlier, the father knew that he was about to die. So Joseph used that opportunity to visit him, and the father with his Joseph's two sons, that is Manasseh and Ephraim. So as elderly man, because Jacob was having a very deep interest and love for Joseph, so he now told Joseph to bring his two sons for blessing. So Jacob placed hand on the junior one. Joseph was very marveled. Daddy, this is not the way to do it. This is the senior son. Now, why can't you? Jacob now replied, no, that is how he wants to do it. That is to tell you that God, the way he does his whole thing is quite different from we men. And whatever God decided, nobody can question God. That is why I like this Yoruba language that used to say, Kabiyesi, it is only God that can do anything without being questioned. Verses 1 through to 33 of that very chapter 48, that concerns the Jacob's prophecy concerning his sons, all his sons. It was then that he now bringing out one after the other all the blessings, either negative or positive, on each of his children, because he knew the character of his own children from A to Z. So there is nobody that will now tell him this is how your children behave. So we today, we also know our children's attitude. We also know our children's attitude. So it was at this place that Jacob now apportioned each of the blessing unto his children, either be negative or positive. But that of Joseph's blessing, I think it was even much greater than the rest of the siblings, because what Joseph passed through, and from the initial stage, Jacob had a very deep love in his son Joseph. Chapter 49, I've even touched it there. That was verses 1 to 33 of that chapter 49. When Jacob was about to die, it was at that point that now blessed all his children, both negatively or positively. So, in this very chapter, he tells us that we as father will have every right to call out our children when we know we are at of age, to gather them, to pray for them, to bless them. Even though a child offended you as a father or as a mother, there's no need for you to utter out any curses on any of our children. Because children's characters, they are not of the same. Most especially we that we are Christians, we cannot behave as the people of the world. Because up to today, there are some fathers who raise curses on their children, and that curses do affect them in their nearest future. So my advice to we, the Christians of today, is that even though our children or child offend us, let us calm ourselves down and put it into prayer. That child that offends you, maybe tomorrow it will be the most useful child in your family. So that's the whole chapter 49 based on Jacob's prophecy concerning his children. Then chapter 50, which is the final one, verses 1 to 21, it was then Jacob died and buried at Machpelah in the land of Canaan. Because before his demise, he has made an instruction to his children that whenever he died, he must be taken to Machpelah for burial, because that is his ancestral home. And if I may ask today, is it possible for us as Christians today that I am, as Brother Daniel now, pass on? That before I pass on, will I give instruction to my children that they should carry me to my home state for burial? Is it in order? If I may ask, because when I got to this place, in fact, it touched my heart. That, this is what Jacob did. He said they should carry him to his own town or to his own ancestral home. Is it expedient for me today to make such an instruction on ground before I pass on? Yeah, because I wanted to ask this question for me to be more enlightened, because this very issue used to cause some controversy that anybody can be buried anywhere. Because there are some culture of Nigeria today that whenever any of their indigent die, they must carry that corpse home, wherever that corpse is. But I can say outside culture is not even believe in that. If a vehicle is traveling from the north to anywhere and happen that there is an accident that involves any northern indigent, be it outside, they will bury that person along the road. by the side of the road.
Not the way.
So I just want to ask, because I have some elderly and Bible scholar in this class this evening. I want that enlightenment. Is it possible to carry somebody who is not a native of this event? Because most of us are not a native of this event. Say, Brother Tony.
It depends. If you are used to your own town and you are participating in all their culture and all their practices, you might by yourself vow that you will love your campus to be taken place. And if not, ever before that time, you continue singing into the hearing of your children. Like my mother, before she died, even more than 25 years before she died, she was already married to the guy she would be married. But in case, and like Lisami's mother, you know Lisami?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Samuel Bashaman.
Exactly.
His mother called my attention, telling me that Lisami may disobey, but instead of carrying her home, she should be buried. And the moment she died, Lisami came to me to verify. Then I told Lisami, if they are not taking the Cathars home, it depends. Individual can choose. So when you don't want it, ever before that time, you tell your children, and if you participate and every culture at home, you are participating in everything, then we know for sure that they are bringing the Cathars home.
Okay. Any other? Brian, Sunday.
If you bought land to your business, you have
Okay. Ramade.
Sometimes, if you bury in a foreign land, and it happens that your children move to your village, they will be mocking your children, and they cannot request anything for that land. If at all they say they want to provide something, they will say, where is the head of your father? So, and the place where somebody is buried, that place is the head of the children. Because if you venture go home and they want to give you whether chieftaincy, they will use that one even in a political
top of the plate away.
So they will
So I'm
say
going
that where did your
place it
father
in the
bury?
spinner this
So
direction.
that is the area. But if you don't have anything, it's not likely your children will go home. Why didn't you bury it anyway?
Okay. Brother Shola. Yeah.
I think it's advisable you let them know.
And they know.
If you let them know the implication, they will not decide on their own. They say it's because it might be that's too stressful. When the person let's say the person maybe died in UK now. Because I different, that's why we are and at that time, even you can be in Nigeria, but it might be that stressful financially and all those things. You understand? But they will now sit down and see that my papa said that if they now want to decide on their position, having told them the indication of not there or outside, they will not decide that. It won't be banned on them seriously and it won't be too stressful on them. And that's mainly that.
So this is a very controversial issue.
You have to look at what this.
Yes, I'm coming to you, but Brashim first. Brashim.
Remember this just happened to me at the end. It is very, very important, especially for our older parents, to have this discussion.
And in this piece of equipment here,
sometimes around
this is the balance plate.
I went home just to do something, probably to fix my parents.
And all of these
And my dad started talking about
as relative fluorescence units. So this graph, this is the number of cycles. So we ran 45 cycles of the reaction. So this.
So if we die, Hashem, you will not take us home. I just said categorically.
In the virtual PCR lab, what you're going to be
I'm very good with my I'm not taking you to. You know what was funny? Just about 2 or 3 hours before that discussion, my younger brother just left, and they had the same discussion, and he said the same thing.
Exactly.
Then he just looked at me and said, "Have you seen your brother?" I said, "No, I've not gone to his place." He said he just said the same thing that he said. You know what he did? He just went outside. He said, "You people should not go. I have seen that you are not taking. You don't want to take us anywhere. Come here, ready yourself." Less than 4 months later, he died. And when people from home called me, so when I said, we already had that discussion, he said, we should bury him out here. And the matter ended. Nobody pursued it again from home or anything, because we had that discussion. If we had not had that discussion,
yes. Brother, Eleme.
Wọ́n ní pé ó dá lórí àṣà agbègbè. Bákan náà pé ó gbọ́dọ̀ dá lórí àṣà ìdílé. Wọ́n ní ìkẹta wá ní pé lórí ẹni tí ìgbàgbọ́ yẹn tó kàn gbọ̀gbọ̀. Fún àpẹẹrẹ. Ẹ̀kọ́ wà tí ó ókè ní tẹ́tà ní ẹ bá fẹ́ ìyàwó ní ìlú. Wọ́n ní tí obìnrin tó bá kú ní London. Tó máa gbé òkú láti ìké ó máa gbé wá ní London láti wá ní àdúrà sí. Wọ́n ní pé ìdílé yìí àṣà wọn nìyí. Wọ́n ló ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ọjọ́ òní.
another one is, when you come to a community, you like a leader in a community.
Wọ́n ní ká máa wo àgbègbè tí ẹni ẹ ti ṣe wá. Kó bá jẹ́ adarí.
Like ìṣẹ̀bálẹ̀,
Àwọn bálẹ̀.
none of them will die outside. I beg you, as a people of God.
Wọ́n ní pé kò sí tí kankan náà bá kú ní tó bá kú sí ọmọ àjọ wálé.
And if my father died now,
Tí bàbá ti lọ báyìí tó bá kú báyìí.
I'm not going to our father. I'm not going to our father now.
Ó dáhùn ló gbó fún gẹ́gẹ́ fún bàbá.
I'm here to family in that community.
Àwọn ni ó jẹ́ olórí.
If I die today,
Wọ́n sábà kú lọ sóòrè.
we do my whole family.
Wọ́n náà máa gbé òkú àwọn ọmọdé.
But if I do not find out, I'm very anywhere.
Wọ́n ní ṣùgbọ́n àwọn àbúrò àwọn wọ́n lè ṣe é
That's
lọ́wọ́
how
àwọn.
community, something. Then the best thing is what
So, yes, that's
if we have made pretend.
yeah, tension low.
Ẹnìkan tó dáa arákùnrin ṣe ó ti jẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ kọ́
I
náà.
agree with that.
So that's it. You stop the woman wants.
Àkókò ìṣòro
Like if we are not in the story,
ìgbà tó bá sí nínú gbogbo àwọn ẹ̀kọ́.
I think we like the woman, we like the bush, then is.
Yes.
Wọ́n ní pé ìjọba kúkú sí nínú ìjọba ẹ̀kọ́ ìgbà.
The main thing that I think of that head of the community is if you don't do it, in these villages, they can inflict a lot of things to your own children. And if another person dies, and you don't need them home, until forever, you don't have right and then they live there and talk to that community.
Wọ́n nígbà tó wà ní agbègbè yìí wọ́n lè rí pé nǹkan púpọ̀ kó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ nítorí pé wọ́n wá sin bàbá wọn sílẹ̀. Ìkejì ní pé tí ẹ̀ máa kú ní agbègbè yẹn wọ́n jẹ́ káwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ wọ́n wá sí nígbè nínú ìsìnkú ẹnikẹ́ni nínú rẹ̀.
Now, for example, there's one I mean, example that there are not very good they married that they married from the man died.
Ará ìjọ Kristi ní àgọ́ wá fẹ́ ẹ̀rọ.
And the woman fight the man that I cannot bring my wife to your area.
Àwọn ìbò ti sọ fún wọn kí òun lè gbé ìyàwó wá sí
Since I pay and now
nígbà tí wọ́n kọ́ ti sanwó orí rẹ̀.
after instruction, the idea should give them a
4.4
Nígbà tí
type.
wọ́n á kírò wá ní pé wọ́n fún wọn ní
so you pay
abo ẹran.
so I promise that put them in it and that's something the person was making in our own village. So
I
it's time to give them to put things in order that one
Àìkú ọmọ táwọn sọ náà nìyẹn pé kí ìrìn pé ìrìn sí òtò gbogbo kó tó lọ.
Thank you very much for all the contributors.
Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀ fún ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín tẹ́ ti ṣàfikún.
Again, concerning this Jacob death,
nítẹ̀síwájú ohun tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ikú Jacob.
he died at the age of 147 years.
Ó tó wá létí pé Jacob ó kú ní ọdún 350.
And in what Brother Shehu said is in conformity what this Jacob told is because he has already said it earlier that if he died, he should be buried at so place.
Wọ́n ní gẹ́gẹ́ bí àfikún ohun tí arákùnrin Ṣeun ti sọ. Jacob gan ti sọ àsọtẹ́lẹ̀ ibi tí wọ́n ní kó sí òun sí tó ń bá kú.
People, if you have a very big mansion in Delta State, and they have a very small area, they have, so the good of the say, if they take up an event, if I try to come to sell that property, that will go bring them to take up their own to far away from them.
Okay. Because when he was giving this instruction then, this instruction to the children,
Àti ó ń ṣe àlàyé ìkìlọ̀ yìí fún àwọn ọmọ rẹ̀.
none of the children opposed him then.
Kò sí ọmọ kan nínú àwọn ọmọ rẹ̀ yìí tó takò.
Probably if there was opposition at that time and they now resolve and agree, okay, he should be buried in Egypt.
Tàbá wá rí ọmọ tó takò wípé báyìí ni a lè rí ẹni tó lè sọ wípé kán sí ilẹ̀ Egypt.
So the children kept to the instruction of their parents.
Torí díẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ wọn tẹ́tí gbọ́ ìlànà àti ìkìlọ̀ tí bàbá ti fi lọ́lẹ̀.
My advice to we that we are going elderly people now is that
Wọ́n ní ìmọ̀ràn àwọn fún àwọn tí a ń dàgbà
we should
báyìí
be
pé
sounding it to the hearings of our children.
pé ká máa jẹ́ kí nǹkan wọ̀nyí kó máa lóye iye létí àwọn ọmọ wa.
If by peradventure death comes,
Tí ikú bá tiẹ̀ dé,
this is how you will do it. Either where I have a building or in my own village.
báyìí ni kí ẹ ṣe ṣe yálà ibi tí mo ń gbé tí mo kọ́lé sí tàbí kẹ́ gbé mi lọ sí ìlú abínibí mi.
The most important thing is that let them know that whenever you are going to be buried, let the Christians bury you.
Orí kan tó ṣe pàtàkì jù náà ni pé ibikíbi tó bá máa sí kó jẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọlẹ́yìn Kristi kí wọ́n ṣe òun.
Not worldly.
Kó má jẹ́ àwọn ẹni ayé, kó má jẹ́ ìṣùkú tí
And another thing I want us to know that this burial ceremony,
ohun tá a dẹ̀ tún fẹ́ kí olúkúlùkù ọgá tún lóye ni pé nípa tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ètò ìsìnkú.
in this very issue we are discussing now concerning the death of Jacob,
Lérí ètò ìsìnkú tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ikú Jákọ́bù,
it was not written whether the children of Jacob now throw extravagant party.
wọ́n á ṣe lálàyé fún wa nínú ìwé mímọ́ wípé àwọn ọmọ Jákọ́bù wọ́n ṣe ètò ìsìnkú bàbá wọn ní alárinrin.
I'm not opposing that nobody should not do any party concerning, but everything has to be very moderate.
Kì í ṣe pé à ń takò wípé tí àyè ẹ̀ bá wà wípé ká má ṣe ètò òkú ní ẹni tó jẹ́ gbangba làṣàtà ọ̀, ṣùgbọ́n ó ń rọ̀ wá wípé ká ṣe ohun gbogbo ní ìwọ̀ntúnwọ̀nsì.
Because all the well-wishers that are coming to sympathize with you or coming to bury your loved ones, at least you must give them something to eat, either to water to drink.
Àwọn tó ń bọ̀ wá bá wa
Everything has to be very moderate.
àwọn tó ń wá bá wa kẹ́dùn ó tọ́ ó yẹ ká fún wọn ní nǹkan kan láti fi ṣe àwẹ̀jẹwẹ̀mu, ṣùgbọ́n ó gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ìwọ̀ntúnwọ̀nsì.
Then verses 22 to 26 of that very chapter, which is the last chapter, 50, we have the
Ẹsẹ̀ orí àádọ́ta, ẹsẹ̀ ìkejìlélógún sí ìka kẹrìndínlọ́gbọ̀n.
It was when Joseph has come at the age of 110 years.
Ibẹ̀ gan wá ní Joseph fúnra lára ti ẹ̀gbọ́n náà ti wá dolóògbé ní ọjọ́ orí àádọ́fà.
And he too also gave instruction that even his bones should be taken to where?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́
His
náà
ancestral
fi
home.
gbólóhùn sílẹ̀ bíi pé òkú tóun náà wọ́n gbé òun lọ síbi tán ṣe òkú.
What the father said before he died is what Joseph also said before he died.
Ohun tí Jákọ́bù bàbá rẹ̀ ti sọ, òun náà lòun náà tún sọ fún àwọn ọmọ tiẹ̀ náà, táwọn ọmọ tiẹ̀ náà dẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́.
I would like us to open to Genesis 50 verse 20. is what I'm using as a key verse.
Ìwé Genesis orí àádọ́ta ẹsẹ̀ ogún.
Key verse for this review. Genesis 50:20. Any language.
50:20. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done.
Yes.
The saving of many lives.
Kàdí Yorùbá.
Ìgbọ́n tó ṣe ní ẹ̀yìn tó ṣe ìgbọ́n ọlọ́run mọ̀ ọ́n sí ìlú láti mú iṣẹ́ ìwé tí ó dóòlù láti gbà lẹ́yìn sísè yẹn máa tẹ̀sí ìlú ọ̀pọ̀ àti àwọn ọmọ rẹ̀ ó sì kì í ó sì sẹ̀.
Because after the death of Jacob,
Nítorí lẹ́yìn ikú Jákọ́bù,
Joseph simply thought that Joseph will take vengeance of what he did to him in the
àwọn
past.
ọmọ bàbá Jósẹ́fù wọ́n lérò pé Jósẹ́fù máa gbẹ̀san ohun gbogbo tí àwọn ti ṣe sí lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí bàbá wọn ti dolóògbé.
So that was what prompted that statement for Joseph to have told them that they shouldn't worry, he has forgiven them.
Olúwa mú gbólóhùn tó jáde yìí jáde wípé kí wọ́n má ṣe rorú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀, òun ti mójú kúrò ń dẹ̀ ti forí.
They meant evil for him,
Èrò ibi ni wọ́n rò fún òun.
and it eventually turned to good.
Ibi tí wọ́n rò sí òun yẹn ó wá já sí ire.
And he was even the shining star in that family.
Ó dẹ̀ tún wá jẹ́ ọmọ tó jẹ́ pé ó jẹ́ ọmọ olókìkí nínú mọ̀lẹ́bí.
So it can happen to us in so many challenges that we are facing today.
Ló lè ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wa pẹ̀lú onírúurú ìpèníjà tẹ́nìkọ̀ọ̀kan wa lòun.
You may feel that someone has haunt you.
Ẹ lè lérò pé ẹnìkan ó ti ṣe wá níbi.
As human being, you may feel offended.
Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ènìyàn, wọ́n lè ṣẹ̀ wá.
But as Christians, let us look unto God.
Ṣùgbọ́n gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọlẹ́yìn Kristi, ẹ jẹ́ ká gbójú wa lé Ọlọ́run.
Even if that hurt that person hurt you, at the end of it may turn to blessing for you. You don't know.
Ibi tí ẹni yẹn ti ṣe sí wa nígbẹ̀yìngbẹ̀yìn ó lè wá jẹ́ já sí ire.
So, brethren,
Torí ìdílé ẹ̀yà ara.
we need to draw some lessons that we need to know from this very chapter 46 to 50.
A gbúdọ̀ wá farabalẹ̀ ká mú àwọn ẹ̀kọ́ tí a kọ́ láti orí àádọ́ta sí àádọ́ta yìí jáde.
One of it is reconciliation or reunion.
Ọmọ àkọ́kọ́ náà ni pé kájọ ṣe àtúnṣe ká mójú kúrò lórí ohun àtẹ̀yìnwá.
It was at that period that the whole siblings of Jacob were able to come together as one family.
Kókó àsìkò yìí ni gbogbo àwọn ọmọ bàbá Jósẹ́fù ni wọ́n parapọ̀ láti jọ gbọ́ra wọn yé.
Second one is forgiveness.
Èkejì náà ni pé ká máa foríjì.
Because if Joseph did not forgive them, maybe he would not have even welcomed them, talk less of getting permission from Pharaoh.
Nítorí tí Jósẹ́fù bá foríjì wọn, a ní lè sọ̀rọ̀ nípa pé kí wọ́n gba ààyè lọ́wọ́ Fáráò.
I'm appealing to us today in this church.
À ń rọ oníkúlùkù wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí ará nínú agbo àjàrà ìjọ yìí.
Let us imbibe the spirit of forgiveness.
Ẹ jẹ́ kó oníkúlùkù wa náà ká máa gbé ìwà àforíjì ká máa gbé wọ̀.
We are about to offend ourselves.
Kò sí bá a ṣe lè ṣe é dà ní ṣẹra wa.
I may offend my brother Sope.
Mo lè ṣe arákùnrin Daniel.
If I let him know what he did to me and he is to realize, I'm ready to forgive him.
Tí wọ́n bá jẹ́ kí n mọ ohun tí wọ́n ṣe sí mi, kémi náà dẹ̀ lóye pé nǹkan tí mo ṣe ó kù díẹ̀ káàtó, tí bá dẹ̀ ti tọrọ àforíjì, wọ́n àforíjì mi.
And we should not try to revenge on our own.
Káwa náà má dẹ̀ wá dúró lórí pé a máa gbẹ̀san látọwọ́ ara wa.
Let God revenge for us.
Ká jẹ́ kí Ọlọ́run kó gbẹ̀san.
The third one is embracing peace.
Ohun tó tún jẹ́ kẹta náà ni pé ká máa fi àyè gba àlàáfíà.
If Jacob did not embrace peace with them,
Tí Jákọ́bù bá gba àlàáfíà láàyè pẹ̀lú
that reconciliation would not have come up.
Ìbáṣepọ̀ ìgbọ́ra ẹni yé yẹn ìbá má ti fẹsẹ̀ múlẹ̀ nínú ẹbí.
And embracing peace always fosters unity in any society or organization.
Ibikíbi tí àlàáfíà bá dẹ̀ ti gbé máa jọba ìwà ìrẹ̀lẹ̀ ó gbúdọ̀ kọ́kọ́ ṣáájú.
As we are in the process of having elders and deacons this church now, it's better for us to let us embrace peace.
Bí oníkúlùkù wa àti nínú ìjọ yìí bí a ṣe fẹ́ fi ààyè sílẹ̀ láti jẹ́ kí alàgbà àti àwọn díákónì kó di eléyìí tó máa yàn nínú ìjọ yìí, wọ́n rọ oníkúlùkù wa ká jẹ́ kí àlàáfíà kó jọba nípa gbígbé ìwà ìrẹ̀lẹ̀ wò.
Number 4 of it is making way, that is before demand.
Ọ̀nà kẹrin náà ni pé kí oníkúlùkù wa ká máa wá ọ̀nà níbi tí a lérò wípé ó nira.
Because I can term this Jacob instruction to children as a way, because that is where he wanted them to bury him.
A lè ṣe àkàwé nípa ọ̀rọ̀ ìkìlọ̀ tí Jacob ti fi lọ́lẹ̀ fún àwọn ọmọ rẹ̀. Ó ti rí i pé táwọn náà dẹ̀ tẹ̀lé, wọ́n rí i pé ọ̀nà láti lè jẹ́ kí àlàáfíà kó jọba kó má sì rúdurùdu nígbà tó ń bá lọ.
And before he died, he also allocated the portion of land to Joseph.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ kó dẹ̀ tó di olóògbé, kó tún fi ilẹ̀ náà hàn Joseph.
So it's better for us if we can have that opportunity, we can have our own will laid down before our demise, so that we will not cause any confusion after we leave this earth.
Tí àwa náà bá jẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹni tó ní oore ọ̀fẹ́ àti àǹfààní yìí, àwa náà gbúdọ̀ lè máa sọ àsọtẹ́lẹ̀ tàbí kí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa gan ká ti fi bí a ti ṣe máa ṣe ogún wa yé àwọn ọmọ wa lẹ́yìn ìgbà tá a bá lọ tó kó wọ́n bá ṣí wàhálà.
Because I could remember sometimes ago in this church, for our Sunday Akande taught us on this very subject, will.
Wọ́n ní pé àwọn rántí nígbà kan gbà tí arákùnrin Sunday Akande kọ́ wa lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ nípa béèyàn ti ṣe lè ṣe àlàkalẹ̀ ogún ara rẹ̀ bó ṣe ṣe kó fẹ́ kó rí kó tó di pé títàn máa dé.
The 6th one is, as I said earlier, on burial ceremony. We should be very prudent.
Ìkẹfà náà ni pé bí a ti ṣe fẹ́ kí ètò ìsìnkú wa kó rí kó jẹ́ ilé tó jẹ́ kó máa jẹ́ ìwọ̀ntúnwọ̀nsì tí ò ní ṣe lè tí a máa lọ ṣe gbára bọ̀ tán táwa kọjá agbára wa tó ní gbèsè máa lé wa káàkiri lẹ́yìn ìsìnkú.
Yorùbá used to say bí ọwọ́ ikú ṣe mọ ló fi ń ṣe kí ni ló fi ń họrí.
Wọ́n ní bọ́wọ́ ikú ṣe mọ ló ṣe fi ń bọ́jú.
So we cannot, because we want to bury our loved ones, either daddy or mommy, we go and borrow the whole money, and then at the end of the day we find ourselves in problem.
Àní sọ pé nítorí pa fẹ́ sìnkú ìyá tàbí bàbá ìtagbára wa ọ̀gá káwá ti rùn bọ̀.
Then allow God. Yes, sir. Okay. There will be room for more comments, please. Allow God to fight for you, as I said earlier.
Gẹ́gẹ́ bá a ti sọ síwájú, oníkúlùkù wa ká máa fàyè gba Ọlọ́run láti jà fún wa.
Then be a source of blessing to others.
Oníkúlùkù wa náà kárẹ̀ tún wá jẹ́ ìpilẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ire fún ọmọnìkejì.
Galatians 6:10 say, do good to all men, even most especially those in the household. Because
Kádẹ̀ máa tún jẹ́ okùnfà ìbùkún fún gbogbo ènìyàn gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìwé Gálátíà ti ṣe sọ fún wa.
this very verse applicable to Joseph. This very verse it applies to Joseph.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ ni gbólóhùn yìí àti ibi tí a kà yìí ló ní ṣe pẹ̀lú Joseph.
Because if Joseph is not fond of doing good,
Torí pé tí Joseph ò bá jẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹni tó ti ń ṣe dáradára
he would have thought it wise to let his siblings to come and stay with him.
Kò ní lè jẹ́ kò ní rọrùn fún láti lè gba àfààyè gba àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí ẹ̀ láti wá gbé pẹ̀lú ẹ̀.
As he is very good to the Egyptians,
Gẹ́gẹ́ bó ti ṣe jẹ́ ẹni tó dára sí àwọn ará Egypt.
he also extended it to his own relatives,
Bẹ́ẹ̀
even
gẹ́gẹ́
more than that of
ló
the
tún
Egyptians.
wá tún ṣe dáradára sí àwọn tó jẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí mọ̀lẹ́bí àti ìbátan rẹ̀.
To the extent that he made sure that a land was allocated to them in that area.
Débi pé ó rí i pé wọ́n pèsè ilẹ̀ ibi tó dẹ̀ tún dára fún àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí òun àti ìbátan ní ilẹ̀ Egypt.
The 9th one is use every position to the glory of God.
Ohun tó tún kàn náà ni pé kí oníkúlùkù wa ká máa lo àwọn ipò tá a bá wà fún ògo Ọlọ́run.
But Joseph used his position as prime minister to the glory of God. And
Torí
for the
pé
service of
Joseph
humanity.
ó lo ipò abẹnugan ibi tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n yàn sí láti lè fi gbé ògo Ọlọ́run ga.
Any position you find yourself,
Ipòkípò tó bá bára rẹ̀,
God put you there for a purpose.
Ọlọ́run fi ẹ́ síbẹ̀ fún kókó ìdí pàtàkì.
Not for you alone,
Kì í ṣe fún wọn nìkan.
so that you can impart it to others.
Débi pé àwa náà àtún lè wu ìwà tí ṣe tó jẹ́ pé a máa fi lé àwọn mìíràn lọ́wọ́.
Other will fail the part from you that it's because of this man and this social post that I'm like this.
Débi pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn tó rọ̀gbà yí wa ká wọ́n lè jẹ àǹfààní lára wa wípé tí bá ṣe tìtorí ọlá Ọlọ́run àtọlá ẹni yìí ló jẹ́ kí n wà nípò.
Because in this church I could understand that there are some brethren that God is using who are even doing more exceeding more than others.
Pàápàá jùlọ nínú ìjọ yìí a rí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ará lọ́kùnrin lóbìnrin tó jẹ́ pé Ọlọ́run ń lò láti lè jẹ́ kí àwọn mìíràn kan rí ọwọ́ bọ̀rí.
So the tenth one, which is final something on this my.
láì ní dárúkọ wọn eléyìí jẹ́ eléyìí tó jẹ́ pé a máa fi ká nídìí nírí.
The tenth one is God's plan stand forever and nobody can change it.
O lè tó gbẹ̀yìn tó jẹ́ kẹwàá náà ni pé ìfẹ́ ó jẹ́ ohun tí Ọlọ́run lọ́wọ́ sí tó dẹ̀ ṣoni papọ̀ títí láì.
It is the plan that God has for Joseph. That is why.
Ìlànà tí Ọlọ́run ti ṣàgbékalẹ̀ fún Joseph ló wá sí ìmúṣẹ.
That is why he was found in that position.
Ìdí nìyí tó lè jẹ́ pé ó bára ẹ̀ ní orúkọ yìí.
Then all the trials that he faced. Then all the trials.
Láì tí ẹ wo gbogbo ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìdojúkọ wàhálà lásìkò tó ti dojúkọ.
Because anyone that we like to be at the top, he must face some trials and tribulations on the way to that top.
Ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá máa ga ẹsẹ̀ máa ti rí.
So, brethren, as I said, our key verse is Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. Anybody that meant evil for you, take it that it's going to be good.
Pé ohunkóhun táwọn èèyàn bá ṣe sí wa kárí pé ire ló máa já sí fún wa.
So I will pause here for more comments.
A máa dáná dúró bí tàbárí àwọn ní àkókò tàbí ìbéèrè.
Mine is no comment and it's not question. When it happened to me at home, the reverend that's supposed to come refused to come because ever before he has already heard much about him.
Okay.
Fortunately enough, a day that day he paid us a visit, and we have opportunity of sitting down to discuss. In our own, it's highly expensive because they gave us 1.8 million naira.
For the burial.
I by myself caught it together with the something we reduce it, and even though I suffer a lot there, then when the pastor, what is so much important is for us to make sure we die in the Lord. First Thessalonians 4:16. He said, we people that die in the Lord will first of all see Christ. Then I now quoted to the very man that what is the meaning of someone going to or flying on the sky, spraying thousands of naira to show that he has money. That doesn't mean burial. Then I refer him to Ecclesiastes chapter 6 verse 3. He said, even if a man had 100 children, and when he is to be buried, they don't even bury him. It means unborn child is far better than him. Only be on tí ẹni tó bá kú tá ò bá sì pé ìṣẹ́yún ọmọ.
Ó ṣe jùlọ.
Then I now interpreted to that very man. What does it mean when we talk of church burial? It's for saints, Christians to rally around the cross. That is exactly what the Bible is referring to. Saints to rally around that cross on that day, not a matter of how much we spend that matters. So if someone die in Christ, no, it's a blessing.